Since its premiere in 2005, Wild 'N Out has been making us laugh our heads off. Between the hilarious roasts and the wildest games, nothing is off limit. And this is one reason why we love the show so much. It doesn't matter who you are, as long as you're on the show, you're gonna get it. However, there were some shocking moments on the show where people took things a little too far. Welcome to our channel. In this video, we'll be talking about 7 of the most shocking moments on Wild 'N Out. First up, we'll call Let Me Holla. Wild 'N Out is known for the interesting games they play on the show. For example, Let Me Holla. Let Me Holla is one of the recurring games on Wild 'N Out, which has been played on the show since season 2. The point of this game is to see which cast member can come up with the best pickup line. Here's how it goes.
But we might want to see them Brooklyn nuts.
A cast member uses a funny pickup line on Wild 'N Out on another Wild 'N Out cast member. If the line is funny, the player gets a bell, but they get a buzzer if it isn't. Ultimately, the team with the most points win the game. While the game in itself is not particularly insane, some moments of the game have left people with their mouths open several times. Not everybody can pull a lady without using complicated pickup lines like 2 Chainz. All he had to say was his name, and he won. Since not everyone can pull that off, many people have come up with crazy lines that left us all shook. Sometimes it's not someone's comment that takes us out. It's an unexpected guest threatening to shut the whole place down. Let's take a look at some of the most shocking moments in the game. First was when the cast member, Corey, used a line that we didn't even know could be used for Riz. Corey has always been a funny cast member, but this comment was on a whole nother level. Speaking of new levels, sexual comments are very common on Wild 'N Out, especially during this game. But this female cast member did something nobody saw coming. We were all shocked by how wild that was. Also, on the list of shocking Let Me Holla moments is this one between a female cast and the man she was trying to flirt with. Like the rest of the audience, I'm sure your jaws dropped as well. Another wild moment was when Mariah Carey made a surprise visit to the show right when her then husband Nick Cannon was trying to woo a woman. The shock in the room was palpable, which makes the moment fit to be on the list. Next up, a girl with many talents. Wild 'N Out is typically a place where people come to have fun and laugh to their heart's content. But sometimes, guests come on the show who take everybody by surprise and leave everyone wondering how it's possible to be so talented. Laurie Hernandez was one such guest. Before her appearance on the show in 2018, Hernandez was known to America as a teenage gymnast who won 2 medals at the Olympics in 2016. When her years as a gymnast were over due to health issues, Hernandez took on dancing, and she was phenomenal at it. To prove this, she has a crown from the show, Dancing with the Stars. However, on Wild 'N Out, we got to see a side of her that caught everybody by surprise. In addition to her long list of talents, Laurie Hernandez is also an incredible rapper. When she was just 17, she was called to host an episode of Nick Cannon's show, and thanks to her amazing talent, she was able to hold her own in a game called Boot Up. During the game, the participants are expected to go up into the crowd while singing a song about being booed up and not lonely anymore. When the singing stops, one of the participants will say something funny about their significant other, but it has to be said in rhymes. If it's funny, the cast member gets points, but if it isn't funny, it gets a buzzer. And the team with the most points wins the game. It was during the game that Laurie Hernandez showed that she could pull good lyrics and shocked the entire audience, even Nick Cannon himself. She started off by making fun of her man for being jealous of her medals and said something about dumping him because she's richer. As hot as that was, she wasn't done. In a face-off between Laurie Hernandez and Nick Cannon, the 17-year-old did not miss the opportunity to diss Nick as well, who even started off by praising her for her talents. Burn, am I right? After dropping bars that no one expected, Laurie Hernandez walked away with the well-deserved comedy champion belt. Add that to her insane collection of accolades. Next, Kevin Hart's crazy Wild 'N Out moments. Kevin Hart is a phenomenal actor, and we all love him for that. However, the fact that he's one of the funniest people out there takes this love to a whole different level. You expect to have a good laugh wherever Kevin is. So just imagine how much fun it is being on a Wild 'N Out audience with Kevin Hart as a celebrity guest. Kevin Hart has appeared on the show a couple of times, and each time there's something crazy to be amused by. Let's start things off with when he told Nick Cannon that he was better than his own teammates. From the sound of the oohs that filled the room, it was obvious that people did not see that shade coming, not even his own teammates. One of the most exciting things about slanders on Wild 'N Out is the fact that no topic is off limits, and Kevin Hart took full advantage of that in one of his conversations with Nick Cannon. Kevin's comment about Mariah Carey, Nick's ex-wife, was a power-packed punch nobody saw coming. Nick stood speechless for a few seconds, and when he finally decided to come at Kevin, he started screaming, "Hold him back," telling his teammate to hold Nick back. Was that shocking? Maybe not, but it was pretty funny. Next, Justina shooting her shot. It's not every time we get to see people shoot their shots at their love interests on the show. However, during a game called Talkin' Spit, Justina seized the moment to tell her crush about her feelings. Talking Spit has been played on the show since the very first season, and it's because of interesting moments like these that the game isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Basically, the game is played by two teams with their captains sitting in the front of each other with water in their mouths. A member of the opposing team will try to make them laugh to the point where they spit out the water. And whoever is successful scores the point for the team. In this game, Nick Cannon and Erica were team captains of the two teams, and Justina was on Nick's team. While trying to get Erica to spit the water out her mouth, Justina confessed to having feelings for her and decided to shoot a shot. As she leaned over for a kiss, Erica spat the water out. Nobody saw that coming. Even Nick jumped from his chair. Justina had successfully scored a point for her team while confessing her feelings for Erica. Way to kill two birds with one stone. China got heated. When it comes to diss rapping, anything goes, but this rap battle between Justina and Black China seemed a little too personal. This is how rap battles work on Wild Out. Basically, members of each team go against each other, one pair after the other, until everyone has had their turn. However, on this day, the heat between the two teams wasn't intense until it was Justina and China's turn. Justina started off dragging China for her relationship with Rob, who she called the least famous Kardashian, and she called her out for her plastic body and hopeless career, saying your body's recyclable, but your career is trash. Black China, who had been burned, clapped back with, but you ain't got no ass. From the expression on China's face, it was obvious that she just got her ass handed to her, and she didn't like it one bit. Somehow, her team was handed that comedy championship belt. However, we can't stop wondering what made Justina come at her so personally and how China's team was able to win after that. Lele steals the show. Roast flying around is a normal thing on Wild Out. However, what doesn't happen every time is a child slandering full-grown adults. When little Lele came on the show 2 years ago, the audience wasn't sure what to expect from a child. And the fact that she was a team captain for the black team just made the whole team look like a laughingstock. Little did they know they were about to get heated by a child. Lele, who was very confident and had a smart mouth, roasted the top members of the red team, including Nick Cannon himself. Of all the shade she threw, the one that made everybody's jaw drop to the floor was during the freestyle rap session between her and DC. DC mentioned something about how she didn't know what it's like to be grown until she starts paying bills. Lele responded by saying at least she was her own boss while he worked for Nick. The winner was pretty obvious at that point because there was nothing more he could say to counter that. Nick's career roast. Even as the host of the show, Nick Cannon hasn't been exempted from being roasted. In fact, he's been the center of diss many times. His relationship with Mariah Carey during their marriage and after their divorce has been the perfect topic to use against Nick, but his career as a rapper hasn't been off limits either. Model Amber Rose once told Nick her presence on the show was doing him a favor, just like Mariah Carey had saved his career. However, she has not been the only person to throw shade at Nick's career. One of the cast members, DC, is part of this long list of people. Between Nick's face and the sound of the O's in the audience, you can tell DC's words cut deep. Thanks for watching the video. Hit us up in the comment section and give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos.